Would you quit your job after seeing this?
One evening, a guy was working night shift security at a local hospital and was making his nightly rounds. He had just started and it was an average evening, quiet. It was late, so everyone was in their rooms. When he first walked down one hallway, he noticed a wheelchair on one side, but the second time around, he noticed strangely that same wheelchair had moved. There was no one else around, and he got a weird feeling, so he took out his phone and captured this. He said he had never experienced anything paranormal like this in his life. How the chair was moving on its own remains a mystery. So what do you think, paranormal, or was someone just messing with them?
In either way, would you stay on the job?
Does anyone else remember when I posted this Zillow listing of the missile silo? It got over 6 million views, and it's back. It's for sale again, but this time, it's been renovated. I mean, look at that living space. I feel like this part is still mostly the same, but they really outdid themselves. The kitchen kind of makes up for the fact that you're living in a missile silo with no windows. Now this is giving barbarian. But, you know, nice little bathroom. Again, I think this is the same for the most part. Reminds me of the set of Stranger Things. But it gets better, because then they have this. This is it's like a pool, but it kind of reminds me of that scene from the movie A Cure for Wellness. If you've seen the movie, you probably know what I'm talking about. But now that it's all said and done, my question is, would you buy this house for $750,000?
Let's talk about the haunted Snow White statue. This was highly requested, so let's talk about it. Now make sure you stay till the end because I have 2 creepy videos to show you, okay? Just letting you know. So user Alan Mora posted this video on June 3rd. The video went viral with about 8 million views. Now in the video, he says that he's walking in el Reino Mágico in Veracruz. And then this happens.
Ese no es el velador, güey. No. No, aguanta. Deja que mi cámara enfoque bien, Deja que mi cámara enfoque bien, güey. Eso no es el velador. No digas perras mamadas, güey. Miren. No digas mamadas, güey. No.
Pretty creepy stuff, but I have something creepier. So in the early 2000s, my favorite Mexican paranormal show actually covered that same Blancanieves statue. And in the video, she blinks. Now the reason why the statue is said to be haunted is because Reino Mágico, the park where you can find that statue at, according to locals, was built on top of a graveyard.
El espacio que hoy es ocupado por columpios y juegos infantiles solía ser el resguardo de mausoleos, lápidas y cuerpos humanos que descansaban eternamente.
Anteriormente fue un panteón.
But later they wanted to make it into a cute little park, so they asked some locals to come and pick up their family members' bodies, but apparently some of them did not. And apparently you can still find some of these forgotten family members there. Honestly, this is kind of a sad story. Like, if there's still people buried under there, that is so sad. Also, why do we look like we're twinning them? Oh my god.
AI Gone Wrong, Part 2.2. In part 1 of this video, I talked about Loeb, her backstory, and how she came to be. In this video, I'm going to talk about how Loeb went from this woman to this picture and how dark it got. She wanted to know if you combined another photo prompt with a prompt of Loeb, what would happen. Supercomposite's friend actually generated this tunnel photo, and she wanted to know if Loeb combined with this tunnel photo would create something completely new. For reasons unknown, when she tried to combine her friend's image with Loeb, it created this image. Over the next 2 days, she continued to experiment with Loeb, and the results are terrifying. For some reason, the AI associates Loeb with death, despair, children, pain, and gore. I'm gonna put a couple images on the screen and I'll let you see for yourself. I'm gonna keep some of the more gory ones off because I don't feel comfortable sharing them on TikTok. But if you wanna see all of them, you can look on Super Composite's Twitter, they're all there. The crazy part about it is the more she tried to get rid of Loeb from these photos, the more intense the photos became. That leaves us all with just one question. How did this come from this? What do you think? Leave a comment. Follow for more creepy shit.
Investigators found that Rex also had a Tinder profile which he posted photos, selfies of himself, and this profile was linked to the burner phones. Rex Heuermann used 7 burner phones and numerous junk emails to stalk his victims and their families. But Rex was creating a web that would lead investigators right back to their killer. Rex would toss these burner phones shortly after the murders, but was unable to erase his digital footprint. Rex Heuermann also used email accounts that were connected to these burner phones, and police even obtained surveillance footage of Rex at a cell phone store in Midtown Manhattan, purchasing additional minutes for one of the phones. Investigators also discovered that Rex would commit these murders when his wife was out of town. Rex's wife was in Iceland when Melissa was murdered, she was in Maryland when Megan was murdered, and she was in New Jersey when Amber was killed.
Disturbing Unsolved Mysteries Episode 4. Now, a woman's body is found in a hotel water tank weeks after she vanishes, so what made her death so bizarre and terrifying? Now, in February of 2013 at the Cecil Hotel in LA, guests complained of foul taste of water. Well, maintenance found the decomposing body of 21-year-old Canadian student Elisa Lam in a rooftop water tank. She'd been missing for weeks since checking in. Her death was ruled accidental, but autopsy results were inconclusive, and elevator footage from right before she disappeared shows Lam acting paranoid, hiding in the corner, pressing multiple buttons but failing to leave. Some believe that she was having a bipolar episode, while others insist that someone killed her. We may never fully understand what happened to Elisa Lam at the infamous haunted Cecil Hotel that night. But if you think that's bizarre, wait until you hear about that unidentified woman found burnt to death in Norway. The coded diaries and the fake IDs found reveal a sinister mystery. Don't miss this haunted cold case next.
So a lot of people know the movie, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Most people know him as like he's this slasher with a chainsaw, this big like dumb dude, but he's super strong, and that most people know him as, right? What most people don't know, it is actually based off of a real story. This guy named Ed Gein, right? Ed Gein was born in Wisconsin, and he grew up and he was super isolated, like always by himself. People described him as like a weird dude. Like he was always like by himself. Ed Gein started grave robbing. He used their skin for like stuff around the house. He used their bones as like utensils, and he has been confirmed to have killed at least 2 people. But they think it's upwards of 10. But they just can't prove it because it was so long ago. But yeah, so he was arrested, and the scariest part about it though, he did not serve one single day in jail. Not one single day.
They let him out?
No, so he was found innocent by way of insanity, and he was sent to a psychiatric ward where he lived out the rest.
A group of tourists went missing yesterday on their way to go see the Titanic wreckage, and it's being reported now that a search and rescue mission is underway. So this company called OceanGate, which is based in Washington, operates these vessels that can take groups of up to 6 tourists to go see the Titanic. A ticket goes for $250,000 and the whole voyage takes about 8 days. The trip starts off the coast of Canada and then goes 380 miles to the site and then 2.3 miles below the ocean to the wreckage. Sunday morning, a vessel doing this trip lost contact with the control room an hour and 45 minutes into its dive. The vessels have 96 hours of battery power essentially to keep people alive, but they're saying now that there's only 72 hours left in that battery. They're also now saying that this exact thing happened last summer, but the vessel was only out of contact with the control room for 3 hours. And this one has been radio silent for over 24. But look, a correspondent for CBS said in an article that all these submersibles have been kind of janky. So much so that the vessels rarely make it to the Titanic despite being $250,000 per ticket. The search and rescue is underway, so I guess we'll get updates within the next 3 days.
Wasn't ready, didn't look for something new. I was out with my friends the night that I met you. You looked so handsome, thought you were someone's boo. That was until you showed me that send me to. Ooh, what's up?
Cause I've been